Welcome to Gen X Rated Tuesday edition. How we doing, guys?
Good.
Fair to Midland.
Fair to Midland again, Billy. What's up with that? Seems strange.
I got my email was hacked or spammed or whatever, just filled with fucking all kinds of bullshit this morning.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it took me hours to go through and unsubscribe and clear all that shit out.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. God told me to wake up in the morning. I had a dream. I'm assuming it was, I don't know whose God it was, but they told me to get up, have a cup of coffee, and then start looking at the PayPal mafia, and then look at some Musk shit, and then I moved on over. I started thinking about NASCAR Nation, that book by Chris Myers in 2012, and how southern we've gotten. Like the South rises again. Everybody listens to the country music, and then I started wondering about when one person runs the whole show, like Trump seems to want to do, what happens. And so I looked at Mao Zedong and how he ran shit, and he ended up killing 60 million real quick. So. Not good. And then right before we got on air, like breaking news, fucking guess who Beetlejuiced Kid Rock?
Lauren Boebert.
Correct. She was spotted in a cab with him last night, like 2:30 in the morning. And ain't no way a fucking rock star like Kid Rock gonna take her home and play dominoes. He
doesn't take no for an answer.
Her ass. And there's video of her like fucking talking to him all night, and they're just talking at this party, and she's dancing like there's fucking music in front of him. It's like, wow, dude, you can't make this shit up. But
I was say no music.
I wasn't even listening to the music. There was no music.
It was just the the magic in the air between two has-been D-listers. Wow.
And don't forget that Fox can just put some music to it, just like they can put cheers in for Trump at the Super Bowl instead of booze.
So. Yeah.
Dude, it's just the ick factor. Just the ick factor.
It's pretty cringe.
And by the way, doesn't this woman have like at least 3 or 4 kids under the age of 18 and one criminal ass kid over the age of 18? Doesn't she have better shit to do, like vote on shit? And I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe your ex-husband, the dude that whipped out his penis in front of all those underage people, maybe he takes care of the kids now.
That wasn't her husband.
I have no idea, but I found that fascinating that Kid Rock.
What, whipped it out in a bowling alley? That was her husband.
Oh, I thought you meant at the theater. Beetlejuice.
Oh no, that was another guy.
He's quick to marry too, man. So don't be surprised if he puts a fucking ring on it.
Oh.
Until she takes all of her fucking makeup off and wakes up in the morning, sees what she really fucking looks like. And it's kind of scary. Bitch has a fucking profile like a pug dog. And the only reason I know that is from her fucking mug shots. So I'm just saying. You picked the winner, Kid Rock. Can't wait till you see you guys shoot fucking machine guns at Bud Light cans.
Yeah, and make increasingly sad attempts to stay relevant.
And she probably still could have kids. She probably have a couple of his kids if his dick still works. But he's drinking that fucking rock gut Bud Light, so I'm not so sure his dick still works.
It looks a little like
dude, she just looks.
This is all allegedly, by the way. I'm just reading this shit, trying to figure out what the hell's going on between Boebert and Kid Rock. I find it fascinating. I'll have my producer Melissa check into it to see if anybody caught him doing anything nasty in the fucking Uber.
She generally likes that stuff on video, so we'll just wait for it.
He has a very weak chin.
I told you, dude, her profile, dude, it's a fucking pug. It's a fucking pug. Get her fucking mugshot up. She got a mugshot. It's nasty.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's a MAGA 10 for you right there. Enjoy.
Well, dude, she ran a restaurant where they poisoned people because they were serving spoiled meat.
Yeah, it's pork slider night, baby.
Ugh.
All right, there you go.
There it is. Oh, look at that,
everybody.
Profile, dude.
It looks like the before picture from the plastic surgeon billboard.
I mean, when your chin juts out further and your forehead goes in like that, you got a teeny tiny little speck of a fucking brain, like a turtle.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's a congresswoman in Colorado, loves her. Can't do anything about it. She's an elected official. She's allowed to Beetlejuice anybody she wants.
Well,
grown-ass woman. Enjoy.
It's a sign of the times, brother.
Kid Rock doesn't look like he fucking bathes, and he looks like he wears leather pants a lot too, and a leather hat. So
makes a lot of sweat down there. Okay, nobody's interested.
I'm just telling you, dude. That could have been a smelly night. Anyway, that's what I was doing. I was fascinated about Bobert. Moving on to the next dude.
On to the next one.
And then I was a little upset. I saw the state rep Lori Paholsky. I'm sorry if I butchered her name. Got a voluntary sterilization a few weeks ago, and I started talking about it in an interview or at a rally or some shit. And now she's getting fucking mega death threats for it. Didn't have a fucking abortion, didn't freeze eggs, didn't do anything crazy that the fucking religion, got sterilized. Her fucking body, her fucking choice. And
you know what?
Yeah.
It should still be the choice of a man whether she can do that or not. Come on.
She gets death threats for the rest of her fucking life.
It's fucking unbelievable. Dude, I mean, I can go out and get a vasectomy. Nobody gives a shit.
Especially because
you're not a certain height.
Do not procreate. You are a better uncle, sir. I'm just saying.
I've got no plans to sow my seed, so
you are too
not to
old
worry.
for babies.
Nice.
So, but that's all.
I'm just saying the double standard is ridiculous.
Well, we have there's no doubt, and it just comes down to misogyny and the fact they don't like women. I think they fear women, and they probably should because they're a bunch of fucking dopes. Just to move on a little bit, I got some updates on this guy.
See, we're gonna do it my way. See.
I can't look away from that vagina neck.
He looks like fucking Mario Batali's fucking Crocs. Fucking orange, dude. It's ridiculous. You kidding me?
Better than the black face he's been wearing. Okay, let's be honest.
Dude, so what's King Trump up to?
That face is like
go ahead.
The all-you-can-eat sirloin bar at the Falcon Inn.
I know, dude. And they probably fucking deep fried that sirloin too. They're nasty at the Falcon.
Remember that car dealer that I brought over there? That guy was, get that all-you-can-eat steak? Oh, yeah. I got to bring my mom back to this.
So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, I'm sure you've heard of it. It basically protects us from predatory lenders, fraud, corporate abuse. We've gotten rid of that. That's not something that we need anymore. Right up there with USAID. When they were spending millions buying Starlink terminals for, I think they paid for 5,000 of them. They were okay with Musk, but once they started digging to see like what the money went to, et cetera, they've been shut down, as we've continued to talk about. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, that was something I'm sure you've heard of, the Dodd-Frank Act, which was to keep banks from screwing us. That's something that we've gotten rid of a while ago, but we still had protection through the Bureau, which is now gone. That seems to make little to no sense to me why you wouldn't want that kind of protection. That's, affects about 200 million Americans. So that seems like a bad idea. What is included under that is banks, credit unions, security firms, mortgage lending, payday loans, which people love,
which are already
and debt collectors. Along with this, now with your credit report, that Biden took away any medical expenses that you had that might have been damaging to your report. They're back because why not? Why not fuck the people as much as you can at this point? So that seems like a big topic with Trump, is to continue to push. Today, the Doge is on the 6th floor of the Department of Education, and currently they are dismantling, grants. For one, they're canceling and any contracts that they don't see fit. And I think that Americans are starting to understand that this is really about finding money to feed the billionaires. This really isn't about finding waste. This is about finding waste that you can put into your pocket that you find wasteful. That's foreign aid, helping homeless veterans, helping the homeless in general, low-income housing. Any of that stuff really isn't on the radar right now. But what is on the radar is this amazing resort. Yesterday, Trump said they were going to buy Gaza. Now they're just going to take it. I mean, what do you pay for? There's nothing there. It's a war zone. Why would you pay for it? We're just going to take it. We're going to build a resort. It could be a real diamond. The kicker is that the people from Gaza aren't welcome back.
Don't you miss the days when Marco Rubio and Trump were just comparing penis size, and now Marco Rubio's just sitting there looking like a goddamn hostage in a fucking meeting while he says, I'm taking fucking Gaza in front of the Jordanian king and shit?
You're absolutely right.
It's we've come I miss the days of fucking dick talk. The locker room talk during presidential debates where we're talking about how how big Trump's penis is. I just missed it. Because now it's all serious business, dude. This guy might defy the courts. Kellyanne Conway's ex is a little fucking concerned about they're going to test these courts. They're going to tell these U.S. Marshals not to fucking, because the U.S. Marshals are part of the fucking his fucking branch of government. He's going to fucking tell them to stand down. Who's going to enforce anything when these judges say start enforcing shit? Our Congress people won't even fucking walk past fucking
single man
Blackwater's fucking canopy security, who's like, doing security at the Treasury and federal buildings. They have no authority over fucking Hakeem Jeffries. You walk in there, you make him punch you in the face. You make him pull his fucking gun on you. This That's guy, right. Fucking the Prince family does not, the fucking DeVos family does not have fucking authority over the federal government, motherfuckers. But somehow canopy security, and they just, these old fucking boomers just standing there going, well, he's not allowing us in. He says we can fucking go in, motherfucker, into a fucking building. I cannot believe Democrats are doing this shit. It's Melissa just looked at me, by the way, which means I'm getting amped up. So let me calm down and say I digress. Go
it's
ahead.
Understandable. Well, maybe I can calm you down with a little bit of Luigi.
Man, what's up with Luigi?
Well, Luigi's had donations up over $300,000 now. The only statement that he made was he was super appreciative, and obviously he'll be using it towards his defense fund. I think it's pretty telling that he's still on a lot of people's radar, and they still support him. I don't see that why they wouldn't. Just because no news doesn't necessarily mean bad news, but it'll be interesting to see how the government tries to take him down, because it's going to be hard to find 12 jurists to want to discipline this guy. So
yeah, especially if they insist on sticking with the terrorism charge.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one for sure.
I'm super convinced that people are just waiting around biding their time too. I don't think they're going to forget about this guy. No. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, that defend, that shit ends up everywhere now, spray painted everywhere. So
yeah,
they're not gonna forget about him. I'm definitely not gonna forget about him. If he ever needs a case of La Croix or fucking bubbly or whatever, I'd be happy to send it to him, because he has a right to be defended, man. Innocent until proven guilty. Dude, Absolutely. All the rules we fucking learned, all the shit we learned is fucking the last generation to learn that fucking nobody's above the law and innocent until. I mean, they've all gone out the fucking window, and all these generations under us, I don't think they realize this is how it's supposed to be. They just fucking look at their king and go, okay, well, they're in charge. We do what they tell us to do.
This is what he said. Yeah, exactly.
It never goes well. I'm telling you, Mao Zedong killed 60 million motherfuckers. 40 million from a famine that had nothing to do with global warming, but it had nothing to do with other than exporting food to another country while he let the fucking poorest people starve, most of which were young girls and women. They were the lowest on the totem pole there. 6 million in the Civil War, 8 million to just straight purging, having them dig their own graves and fucking shooting them. Dude, when one man makes the fucking decision, and the reason he was exporting the food, by the way, and so he had fucking spending money. So he had fucking cash, so he could buy shit. It's fucking insane. He's putting everybody else on a fucking diet, but he needed fucking to sell all that grain and all that shit so he could have some cash to buy weapons and what have you.
Well, and who did his bidding? It was a lot of the young people. They killed their parents. They turned in their parents. I mean, it was a generation that was brainwashed. It was a cult, which we're seeing now.
It's very similar.
They called it the Great Leap Forward.
Correct. Yeah. The Great Leap Forward killed 6 million too. On top of all those other numbers I meant, that Great Leap Forward part of that little era, those little few years, killed 6 million people. That had nothing to do with the famine.
I think it was more like 62 million.
No, I mean total, it was 62 million.
Yeah,
I'm talking that little period there killed 6 million people. Famine killed 40 million people. The Civil War itself killed 6 million people. People telling on people killed another 8 million people. I have all the fucking numbers, but I am right here. 40 million famine, 6 million war, 8 million political purge. 5.5 million for the Great Leap Forward. 1.6 million for the Cultural Revolution equals 62 million dead, and only 52 million. I shouldn't say only 52 million people died in World War II. So 62 million people, one fucking country, one guy killing his own fucking people. It's never a good idea. We have three branches of the government. We need to kind of defend that vigorously. So
yeah,
I would agree.
At any cost, really, at this point. And, you know, Stalin did the same thing with the famine in Ukraine that he engineered.
Correct.
You know? And look at Hitler. Hitler's reign didn't end well either for the Germans.
For sure.
These things just do not end well.
And we had talked about the single guy at the top. His opinion today is that he doesn't find his vice president to be a successor. Normally, you wouldn't say that publicly, but obviously Trump says whatever he wants to say.
I like my new son, Elon. I'm going to put him in charge when I go.
Elon can't be president. It's got to be Uday or Kusei.
You say that, but there's talk out there that they could put him unelected as the House Speaker. As House Speaker, he'd be number 3 in line. I think it's a stretch, but I don't think it
would work. I think they would have to bypass him as president and go to number 4. There's just no way he can be president. It's in the Constitution.
He's president now, essentially.
Oh, correct. He's president. I agree. Which I guess I should sort of applaud, because now we have the first kids are little brown kids, so we have some biracial kids in there. But I guess we already had the Obama.
Yeah, but they're raised to hate Indians. You know, his wife is a total sellout.
Dude, at least she's not using the whitening cream they sell over there, like Nikki Haley allegedly uses.
Or is she?
Don't bring up Sammy Sosa either.
I'm just telling you, man. I've seen commercials over there where literally the commercial starts out, some girl's dancing around her guy trying to get attention, and the narrator is going on and on about it. It's your hoo-ha. It's not that it stinks. It's too brown. Here's some lightning cream. So she starts lightening her hoo-ha over time. This is a real fucking commercial. I'll send it to you. And in the course of like a month, he's all over her ass, picking her up, carrying her into the bedroom and shit, all because she made her pussy white. I don't fucking know what that fucking even means, but in India, that's a fucking thing, dude.
Meanwhile, it's crazy that he didn't notice.
Literally, fucking hate their brownness. So
he bleached her anus first, but he didn't even notice.
She hasn't bleached her skin. At least she hasn't Sammy Sosa herself yet. So
endorsed by Sammy Sosa.
When she starts looking like Sammy Sosa, forget about it. You should pull up a picture of Sammy Sosa before and after, Rob.
Oh God, yeah, it's like night and day. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
And
why? Be her in like 4 years.
And why? Why did he do that? I don't understand.
Because
I don't know, man.
Culturally speaking, some brown countries, they figure it's better to. Dude, there's just a lot of anti-black, dark skin bias, even in black culture.
Even in black culture, yeah, you had the paper bag test.
Y'all ready for this?
Oof, that's crazy. It looks weird.
It looks weird.
How about this one? Because this looks kind of strange too.
Super weird. Super strange. I don't like
super strange.
I say stay you, unless you have vitiligo. Then what choice do you have?
I couldn't agree more. I did go a little over the top. Maybe this is a little bit more to the Michael Jackson side. I don't know.
That's insane.
Doesn't present super well.
I mean, maybe he just didn't want to be recognized walking down the street as one of the greatest steroid hitters of all time.
So he changed his eye color too? Crazy.
Well, you just wear contacts for that shit, right?
Yeah, good point.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's strange.
I think that's the only way you could do that.
Yeah.
It's weird, but they do it. People do it in all sorts of cultures. I'm not going to sit there and say I'm an expert in all cultures, but there's a lot of dark skin bias in a lot of dark skin cultures.
You're absolutely right. I wanted to throw a few health things in since the CDC is only updating once a week. The American Medical Association has, they do a daily update. You can listen to some of they're almost like webinars. They're just little shorts giving you updates. You can join the AMA. It is one of the only places that we're finding out that the flu rate is very high. We've had 24 million illnesses due to flu, 13,000 deaths, 57 pediatric deaths from the flu. And I can tell you personally, knock on wood, we're pretty good around here. But I have several guys that missed the skate last night because their kids were sick with the flu. I had people that are missing today because their kids have the flu.
Oh,
and
shit.
it's a foregone conclusion that they're just going to get it. So they're like, well, I feel fine, but maybe I shouldn't come out, which is the right answer. If you're not feeling right, stay home.
Well, and one of the skaters last night was having trouble breathing.
Yeah.
Getting lightheaded. And this is a guy that can ordinarily fly up and down the ice. And he was like up and back and couldn't breathe. And yeah.
Well, and after talking, there were several people in the locker room that have gone through this. Apparently, it's another like bronchial thing that we just fight through and work your way through. Clearly,
or you die, either or.
Next style, or you have pneumonia and you're dead.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. But I did see something, and I don't know how valid this was. It was something on can't remember if it was on X or on Threads, that there's some shit going down in Indiana where some of the hospitals are being overwhelmed.
They are, for sure.
Yeah, ambulances are being turned away because the beds are full. You're not really seeing that, though.
Well, and the test now, they do have a test for COVID and flu. I think it's $30 for a 2-pack, which was right around what COVID was. But the key is that if you can get diagnosed early enough with flu, they can get you on a Tamiflu. They can get you on something sooner than later, because the flu that is ripping through is people are down for a week, and it's pretty rough. I mean, I still remember the last time 7 years ago. You just don't forget when you can't get comfortable. Your body constantly hurts. You're hot, you're cold, and my demented mom's walking in and asking me if I'm asleep.
Well, it's like you need to take control, Coach Rose, and then make a shitload of chicken noodle soup for these motherfuckers. Get to it.
I should get to it right after this podcast. We'll run into that.
You got nothing going on, right?
Yeah, really nothing happening.
Nothing happening. No crazy demands on your time.
Well, maybe Bill could do it. What are you doing, Bill? Besides porn and a fucking craft dinner.
I can open up a can of soup.
Yeah, well, don't open the tuna from Trader Joe's or Costco, because right now they're pulling them off the shelves for
what?
What is it, Billy?
Botulism?
What's going on? Botulism?
I don't know if it was the cans that caused it, but they are pulling it off the shelves. People were getting sick. Just to circle back on the health thing, we had talked about this, where Trump had cut research in cancer research, viruses, and what was the third one, Billy?
Cancer research, virus. Oh, and heart disease.
And heart disease. And just to relate, because I wanted to come back to those numbers, heart disease is still the leading killer of Americans. I don't know why we would stop research on that. Cancer, obviously, that's a no-brainer. That's not going anywhere. But when we look at it, I mean, 47%, almost half the adults have high blood pressure. So 72% are at an unhealthy weight, and that's being kind. 42% BMI, you're obese. And then 50% have either type 2 diabetes or they're pre-diabetic. And I had a person close to me that just came back pre-diabetic. And, sure, weight loss is easy, but when you've spent your whole life eating a certain way, it's not that easy unless you get on the dirty O. Am I right?
Yeah.
That seems to be the answer in America. Let's go to Ozempic.
Yeah. Then you don't have to do anything. You don't have to exercise. You can eat whatever you want. Those pounds are just going to melt away.
Chris Rock said the money's in the medicine, dude. They ain't trying to cure shit. It's in the medicine.
The downside with Ozempic is that I think it comes from Norway. Is that right?
Are we gonna annex Norway too now?
Well, no, but they've already jacked up to America 500% tariff on that, because fuck you. Not the rest of the world, just us.
You could do what India does and just steal the fucking formula. Like when AIDS drugs were super expensive in America, India just combined two of the most popular drugs together and made them like a fucking $1 pill, and that was that.
Oh wow!
That's how they first started fighting AIDS over in India. They just
it's funny you'd say that.
Their patent. I'm gonna fucking make it anyway.
Yeah, come and get us in India. It's funny you'd say that, because they had several commercials during the Super Bowl, which we'll talk about, but for various ailments, and that was a real lovely story of survival. But what they didn't tell you was that a monthly dose is $30,000 a
Oh
month.
shit! For what?
Holy shit!
What drug was that?
I think it was. I don't know if it was kidney or heart. Anyway, the point is,
the side effect better be, but you can get it up for Lauren Boebert. Goddamn, that's gross. That's obscenely fucking too much money.
I mean, the point is nobody can afford that. I think we talked about this weeks past that the whole point is to bankrupt you. When they talked about this AI where they're going to treat the cancer as an individual, it's $100,000 a treatment. By the time you lose all your cash and you don't die, you're going to wish you were dead because you're poor. And then you die anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole plan, man. They just want to kill everybody off anyway.
Not a great system for sure.
Speaking
of the Super Bowl, a couple things. This was Mahomes' pregame. I think he was trying to make a statement to the Eagles. Didn't go well.
Very green.
They made a statement right back.
Yeah, what'd you think of that,
dude? Is that's not even his fucking color. It looks terrible on him. I mean, it's
it does.
Not his color. So it's he looks all washed out and he looks very MAGA there. I don't know.
Yes. Well, the MAGA supporters were mad at Trump because of the loss. But
the Kansas City MAGA supporters were mad at Trump for reals. Oh,
he was the one that brought him down, but we still love him apparently. Go ahead, Billy.
I was just going to say the Eagles were all over him, man. They were faster, they were more aggressive. They were just all over him.
Younger,
hungrier.
Their O-line blocked. Kansas City's O-line needs to be completely fired and retooled, I think.
Yeah, dude. And the Eagles didn't even blitz. They did not blitz.
That was
once.
crazy.
All the pressure came from the front four.
Again, the O-line hasn't really been up to snuff all year long, and somehow they've been winning and finally caught up with them. There was no way those guys were going to block the Eagles D-line. They're too big, too good, too strong, too fast. Kelsey looked slow as shit every time he stayed in the pass block.
He really did.
He looked out of it.
So. Makes you wonder if he was sick or something, because that was pretty bad.
Yeah, he looked.
I don't know, man.
He just looked out of it.
I only played in one Super Bowl, and after our safety that was out the night before trying to solicit a hooker and solicited a fucking Dade County sheriff instead, when he got a bomb dropped on him from Elway, I literally looked to my right to Bob Whitfield. I'm like, dude, we're going to have to score 100. So, I mean, I kind of had that Kelsey look on my face right after that. I mean, I was going to try my hardest and whatever, but you just kind of fucking, and I actually said to Melissa, before the fucking first kickoff, I'm like, we might know who's going to win this game in the first quarter, because sometimes you can just fucking read someone's face. And by the end of that first fucking quarter, Melissa's like, dude, you were so right. Look at Kansas City's sideline. And then look at the Eagles. Look at how much confidence they had. You could just feel it. And I told you guys in the last podcast,
11 points.
Eagles by 11. So.
You did.
I thought that was insane.
They're just younger, faster, hungrier. They don't have the ring. And when you have 2 rings and you have that kind of money and you have the contracts and you've played all those extra games to get to the Super Bowl, you're worn the fuck out. There's no way they're not worn out. So it's a combination of a million different fucking things.
Sure. And props to them for getting there, 7 straight AFC championships, 3 straight Super Bowls. I mean, it's super impressive.
It's super impressive, but dude, nobody three-peats. It's just
it's too hard.
Sorry, Pat Riley.
Sports, yeah, it's very, very, very difficult. Yeah, he was set to make some coin, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He had something all worked out to get paid to. What a genius fucking thing to say, though. So fucking simple, so stupid. Three-peat.
And
halftime show. Anybody thoughts?
It was awesome.
I liked it. All my friends that are white, that are my age, that I still talk to, that are male, none of them got it. None of them liked it. They all fucking hated it. They all had various reasons why they fucking hated it. Some of them are very, 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 very smart, liberal individuals, and they still hated it. And I literally had to text back to them, talk to your fucking kids. They will explain what the fuck's going on. I'm not here to sit here and explain all this shit to you, from the Drake beef to the symbolism to the Uncle Sam. I'm not gonna sit there and explain that shit to you, but your kids are gonna be able to. I'm like, listen to them. That's the best I can do, dude. Because sometimes people just get arrested development in the bubbles they live in. I grew up with a bunch of 80s kids that, listen to rock and roll and started listening to hip hop and listen to everything but country. Those same guys now listen to nothing but country, and I have no idea if it's because all these conglomerates bought up all these radio stations and force-fed everybody fucking NASCAR and country music, or they just naturally got more conservative and graduated toward that pop country bullshit.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. It's not pop, it's not country. It's just like, it's terrible. It is so bad.
What were you telling me before the show started about Taylor Swift?
Yeah, I mean, people forget Taylor Swift started out as a country performer, and Nashville, dude, it's so corporate and so misogynistic, and anything out of their, range of comfort is immediately offloaded. Like they've got rules like how many female country songs you can perform, you can play in an hour.
Wow.
With their programmers. I mean, it's a whole fucking thing. And, and now the stuff that really is country music is known as outlaw country.
Ooh, that sounds tough.
And I mean, and there's some really good music out there. I mean, you look at, country music. It was Willie Nelson. It was Waylon Jennings. It was Hank Williams Sr.
Jefferson, yeah.
And it was a mix of blues and gospel, and a lot of it was appropriated from Black culture.
Oh, sure. By the way, they could be extremely political, and they had the respect that no one's going to lip off 99.9% of the time. To this day, Willie Nelson can say whatever the fuck he wants. I say those exact words, and I'm going to get fucking attacked. They don't fuck with Willie. He just has that kind of fucking mad respect. And country is not country today. It's really weird. Oh, and by the way, since you brought up country, you guys are only 2 degrees of separation from Blake Shelton. I want you guys to know that.
How so?
I'm only 1 degree of separation from Blake Shelton because I know somebody that fucked his bass player in Nashville. Just saying. I'm just
well, all right.
So, I think about that quite often. We should literally do a show on degrees of separation because just knowing Melissa, I'm so adjacent to so many rock stars and celebrities because she worked at 98.5 WNCX for so many years in promotions, and she met everybody from Foreigner, and she met, Guns N' Roses, and, I sat and had a drink next to Slash one night at a fucking bar before his band Snake Pit played. So there's a lot of rock stars, and even Janie Lane was at my fucking Super Bowl party, just from a friend through Billy Morris, so you guys know.
Oh, yeah.
And then plus all the football players we know. We should literally do a show sometime of degrees, that Kevin Bacon degrees of separation. I don't think any of us in this room, Melissa, you guys, are more than fucking 2 or 3 degrees of separation from anybody in this fucking country. I swear to God. It's probably, we'll have to definitely do that sometime.
Yeah, we should do a deep dive into that.
So sorry about that, Rob. I drifted off there. I want a new show. Degrees of separation. Make it happen.
We should do it. I think that's an easy one. That sounds like a Saturday thing. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, anything to not talk about that orange croc.
Yeah, anything but that.
Holly shoes.
I'm all that orange tumor. Yeah. But here's a funny thing, just to circle back real quick to country music. Both liberals and conservatives were really quick to claim, that's that old song, Okie from Muskogee.
Oh, sure. I used to sing it all the fucking time.
Yeah. It was, the idea for it came up, was it Merle Haggard or Waylon Jennings? I can't remember.
Merle Haggard.
Yeah. So his tour bus is going through Oklahoma, through Muskogee. Dude, they got a bag of weed, they're rolling joints, and they're laughing about it. And that's how that song came up. Now, you could take it any way you want. Both sides did, especially the conservative right. And, Nixon even had him in to perform that song in front of him.
The only thing funnier is watching on Lawrence Welk, you see them doing once, what was it? The one toke over the line.
Oh, yeah.
It said sweet cheese.
The most conservative 2 fucking people that they probably needed a pusher. I'm not saying they were Mormon, but
a shaker.
They didn't look like they were touching each other, and they're singing this song on Lawrence Welk like it was.
That's awesome.
Guys, you know what he's talking about, right? Jesus.
Yeah. The only reason I even know Okie from Muskogee is because it's on the Platoon soundtrack. I don't even think I heard the song until that movie Platoon came out. So.
Oh yeah, but there's a guy that does a deep dive onto country music.
Right.
It's a really interesting podcast, and that was a really interesting story. And it's just fascinating, man. And the stuff that they play, it's just corporate synth bro country pop. It's It's terrible.
Well, and I was in Nashville, I want to say 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, and my Uber driver was a musician that moved from Atlanta into Nashville. And to your point, he said it's a very closed group. And he would do like, he'd be part of the instrumental band. And he had several types of music that he wanted to implement into country. And he was respectful of country. But slowly but surely, he's over months, he's kind of finding his groove of people that are accepting. But he said it's really hard to get in because they really just shut out outsiders and they like what they do. And
women, people of color.
Exactly. And this was a black guy. So it seemed like they were making inroads. He seemed extremely talented, and that's what you're looking for. I mean, make something new, man. That would be awesome.
By the way, you two Jagoffs are only 1 degree of separation away from Jerry Shirley, the drummer from Humble Pie.
Oh, nice.
I know him personally because of Melissa. So
okay,
yeah.
Jeez,
I'm gonna good guy, little dude. Those fucking little British fucking motherfuckers, like from the Beatles on, the tiniest motherfuckers. Have you guys ever been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or no?
No, actually.
You have to go just to see the size of the clothing. You'd think Elvis was some blown out fucking big titted look like me motherfucker.
Only in the end.
His jumpsuit is fucking tiny. I mean, he was fat for a fucking hobbit. But all these motherfuckers were just little dudes, you know. His motorcycle, his trike's in there too.
Oh wow!
Next time you guys come, that's our first trip.
Definitely.
We're going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so you can see how small these motherfuckers' clothing were. Anyway, I just want to say, I just want to say I knew Jerry Shirley. That's all. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Anyway,
noted.
Well played.
He looks pretty big there. You know?
He does, dude. But his jumpsuit is that fucking jumpsuit. I don't know if that's a jumpsuit, right? There's a white jumpsuit.
Yeah, I guess so.
70s, his fat suit that is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And
he never got that big, did he?
That would fit me. So I'm just saying, I don't have that big pussy pouch, but I'm just saying that shit would fit me. That's gross, dude. That's gross.
I know. Listen, I like Elvis, so I apologize for that and any other fat Elvis that I put up there. Let's get back to a more.
Dude, one night I watched the Elvis movie, the one that came out not too long ago, and dude, he got fucked over, man. His handler, the Colonel, was a fucking stone cold thief and gangster.
Absolutely.
Because Elvis, at one point, he was like, dude, I want to play overseas. I was in Germany in the service, but I want to see Japan. I want to see the world. And this guy had him locked into playing residences in Vegas to cover his gambling debts, the Colonel's gambling debts. So Elvis was basically his fucking slave. And when he tried to leave, that dude was like, I own your ass. I will sue you into oblivion.
And Elvis was too nice a guy. He probably could have had some of his buddies just take care of that guy.
Whack him, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking whack your manager if he doesn't have a crew. It's just him.
Is this the jumpsuit?
Yeah, I think that's the one.
Yeah.
That may be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So,
I'm sure it is. That's pretty
I don't know. It's pretty small. Whatever it is, he's not a big dude. These people were tiny. Melissa and I were in Vegas. We saw Cassidy. Which Cassidy did we see? David Cassidy, who just died. He had a show in Vegas for a while. It was a pretty good show.
David Cassidy died?
Huh?
David Cassidy died? Really? Keith from the Partridge Family?
Dude, did you not see him recording his last album? He was trying to get as much music in as he could before he died because he fucking had the alcohol shakes and he was fucking drinking every day. And, it's on video, dude. Yeah. Right before he died, he made an album and he had to get it in as fast as possible, but he could only work in like 5-minute bits because he was so fucking alcohol sick. He was just so. And it's all daddy issues. Stems from
his dad was a real son of a bitch.
His dad got drunk and fucking lit a cigarette and fucking burned himself up to death one night. Fucking
holy shit.
A real fucking asshole. And
he was not a good guy. Jack Cassidy.
Jack was super jealous of fucking David because David was a fucking rock star, dude. I mean, you guys see him on the Partridge Family. That motherfucker was a stadium fucking sellout musician. The bitches loved his ass. Anyway, Melissa and I saw him, and I just couldn't get over how fucking tiny he was. The two things I couldn't get over were tiny little dude, very nice. I mean, just smiled at us and everything. And I couldn't get over how tattered his goddamn fucking tuxedo was. It's like, I know you've been doing this show for a couple of years, but couldn't they get you a new tuxedo? I was so close. It was like thin. You could see through it. It had holes in it. It looked like moths were eating it.
Oh, dude, that's sad.
He was a fucking mess. He was yeah, you should watch his documentary.
Well, and he grew to hate the Partridge Family, right? Because he was like kind of pigeonholed into that. He wanted to like bust out, didn't he? Musically?
He wanted to shred, dude. He wanted to be Eddie Van Halen, like literally. He wanted to be Eddie Van Halen, and they wanted him to sing Bubblegum Pop, which he did, you know, because that was the only way he was going to make money and sell out stadiums. But there was a couple times he did shred on the Partridge Family where he just fucking kicked in the fucking distortion and fucking went at it. But they only let him do it like 1 or 2 times, like real quick for 10 or 15 seconds.
Oh, man, that fucking Reuben Kincaid.
I mean, seriously. There he is. There's the skipper.
Yeah, dude. He was fucking, he looked like he was rode hard and put away wet when me and Melissa saw him in Vegas. It was, oof. Alcohol, dude. And he was a little guy. So it probably only took a little bit more than it took Mini-Me, who also was an alcoholic, but he could drink a thimble of fucking vodka and be wasted. He could. He was tiny. Tiny.
And he was very focused on the music. You didn't hear any rumors about him sleeping with his mom or his sister.
No, I don't think he tried to date his mom like Brady did. Like Greg Brady tried to. He took his mom out on a date, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
Gene, you are connected to Shirley Jones's mom.
How?
Our stepfather's mom gave her piano lessons back in Pittsburgh.
See, that's awesome. Young. We got to do this show, man. I'm telling you, man. Who the fuck could? I mean, we could just do we could do one random show where we just throw fucking names out there.
Saturday edition.
And then
that totally sounds like a Saturday edition. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're definitely connected to a lot of people.
Well, here's something. Anybody who's listening, message us. Send us a random name, somebody, and we'll see.
Dude, look at NSYNC. I mean, they were hanging out with Jamal Anderson, fucking doing dance moves like the weekend of the Super Bowl. Like they were his buddy. He was showing them around Atlanta before they had made it big. So
Boys to Men too. He was buddies with them as well.
Oh, and don't forget Evander Holyfield. He would only take a picture with a couple of white guys. I came late to that party, and he was like,
It was me and Homeboy, and the whole time I'm thinking, what if I just like jumped up and punched him in the head? What would happen?
Left Eye Lopes fucking saw her in Papados a couple different times.
Yeah, I remember that.
Of course, you knew Andre, and so did I briefly when I was in training camp with the Browns. It's weird, dude. It's just kind of weird, like how we're kind of connected to all these weird people. Melissa definitely in the music industry because of her job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
People should remember that we're not that separated from one another.
Yeah, definitely not.
I wanted to jump to a different category. I don't want to spoil that. Anybody know what car this is?
Is that a Pinto?
Did the horse in the background give it away to you?
Yes.
Yeah, because the horse is a Pinto as well. Yeah,
the horse was safer to ride.
That's a distinctive coat on that horse over there, and that's why they made it into the Pinto.
Trump was wearing that color orange in 2019, I believe.
This is a little bit more stylish of a version. Excuse me. You got the hatchback, which was kind of new, and the sunroof. I'm not sure if you can see that, but
oh yeah.
Did you guys ever own or ride a Pinto? I never was in one.
Did I have a death wish? No,
dude. No, but our mom had a Monza, which I think was like one step away from the Pinto.
We had a fucking Monza with a Vega engine. I remember it very well. We had a Monza 2+2 with a Vega engine, dude. It was a piece of shit. It was gray. It was a 4-speed, I believe. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that. Kind of sporty looking, total piece of shit.
Oh, dude, the Monza.
Totally remember that.
We put that car through hell. I got hit by a truck one time, sideswipe driving that thing. We wrecked it in South Park when the first time our mom went away. I think I was like maybe a junior in high school.
Right.
And she left us alone on our own for Memorial Day weekend. She finally figured out we were old enough to be able to handle it.
Were we?
No, we got a case of beer, went to South Park, and I was pulling out into an intersection. I looked left, I looked right, and I didn't look back left again. And we got T-boned
by a shitty car.
You're lucky you lived. And had you been T-boned by that Pinto, what would have happened, Rob?
Well, interestingly enough, you would have been okay. If you'd have been hit from the rear in that Pinto,
forget about it.
You'd have been fucked.
Right.
Yeah, part of the issue was that those cars were exploding. To your point, Gene, I'm going to pop this up because I want to do some comparison. This is a GM pickup truck. The design on this truck was to have your two 20-pound or two 20-gallon gas tanks on the side of the vehicle. Outside of the frame of the truck, you have two 20-gallon gas tanks. This looks like a Silverado. They called it the CK back in the day. I'm sure you've seen these GM pickups before.
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
And this
grew
was
up with them. Yeah, grew up with them in Nebraska.
And people would get T-boned and they would not die from their injuries. And all the autopsies showed that they burned to death. Yep. They had a serious problem with that. Yep. I might compare it to this vehicle here, but I might get into trouble. Again, GM knew they had a problem with these trucks on the side, but in typical fashion, they were able to just make a payout. It took about 14 years, and they started to pay out. I think in the end, it was like $51 million, which is next to nothing. And they still, the thing that really upsets the people that were the victims or new victims, these cars are still on the road. Wow. Yeah, an 86 car. That was one of the comments was they were so well made that they're still around. They're still running, but
yeah, but their drivers are not.
Do your due diligence, because if you get hit on the side, you're kind of fucked.
Well,
damn, Rob, that's crazy.
I gotta tell you, when you were talking about it's a robbery, they're putting all these kleptocrats in to steal. The other half of that fucking equation, you just brought up with this Cybertruck and how fucking dangerous it is, because it's the most fucking dangerous vehicle ever built, I believe.
Look at that thing.
Deaths per 100,000, if you do the math. The other half of that scenario, besides stealing money, is Elon wants to cover up all his fucking crimes. He wants to cover up all the research on this shit. He's in there in the computers washing out how dangerous these fucking vehicles are. How close, 19 times more dangerous than a fucking Ford Pinto. And we're not going to find out about it because Elon is the president of the United States currently.
Well, and just to give numbers to Gene's point, the Cybertruck per 100,000 fatalities, the percentage with the Cybertruck is 14.5%. The Pinto per 100,000 was only 0.085.
Oh, wow.
And that took a while because, again, the National Highway Safety or Traffic and Safety, you still got to go through the courts, right? Soon we won't have to worry about those kind of government agencies because Orange Guy will get rid of them. So you can do as you please. But the point being that it took through the courts some of these cases for Ford. One of the designers came in and had to objectively say it was a design flaw. They had to pay these people because they knew, and they continued to do it. But it takes a lot of money, takes a lot of time. You got to go through the courts. And just to circle back, we're losing our courts now. So the hill we're going to die on is whether or not the Justice Department's allowed to do work for all of us, or if they're just working for the Orange Guy and his 5 buddies.
Yeah, no, it's just the Orange Guy's private law firm now. But here's the thing. We're losing the media too. And the Pinto story didn't really come out until 60 Minutes did a thing on it. And
You're
then
right.
No pun intended, it exploded. It really blew up. People were like outraged and up in arms. And that spurred, the lawsuits and everything. But it's like, you remember that movie Fight Club?
Yeah.
Where at the very beginning, his job, right, that numbed him to, hallucinate that he was becoming Brad Pitt. He was an insurance adjuster, right? And remember, he would go to these sites and he would like take measurements. And in one, he's like, you can see where, this must have been a big guy because the fat is still on this seat where he burned to death. But his whole thing was, like, my job is to determine, is it worth it to pay it out? Or is it more, is it worth it to fix these design flaws? Or is it just more cost effective to let it happen? Pay the suits.
Yeah. And the car, you're right. And the car had been around for a while. So it's like, hey, maybe a new design might be nice. I mean, the Pinto was stylish, don't forget, but the Maverick wasn't far behind. Okay.
Your buddy had a Maverick, didn't he?
It's not just cars either, man. I seem to recall Firestone having a exploding tire from Ford Broncos or some shit and killing a bunch of fucking people.
Yeah.
And bean counters at first, they're like, we're going to only have so many. Let's just, pay them out. And then, You shine some light on it, and now we can't shine light on it because President Musk is in there, you know, besides erasing the Department of Education, is erasing all his fucking crimes, literally erasing his crimes. Or what would be crimes if we had a non-criminal president sitting in the White House right now?
That would be nice too. To your point, yes, Ford eventually, it was one of the milestone cases. I think it was Grimshaw versus Ford. Oh, wow. That led to the exposure where they started paying people. Now, General Motors went a different route. They went Uncle Bill's route, which was just to string it out Trump style. And then at the end of the day, they gave $51 million to public safety. So more child seats and that kind of stuff. To me, that child seat, he's still in your fucking vehicle that's going to blow up. So maybe he's secure and doesn't go through the window, but he can't get out. In a lot of those cases, the driver was not fatally hurt, but couldn't get out of the vehicle. And that was really the issue. That's a lot of gas.
That's fucked up.
It was pretty messed up. And it seems
so
like
the moral of the story is, well, no one should be buying a Tesla right now. If he's cornered the market on the fucking charging fucking stations.
Wait, and Gene, expand on that, because Trump did cut the EV supercharging for everybody.
Well, Biden was going to subsidize all the other guys that made superchargers so they could catch up with Tesla's infrastructure, because not everybody has a Tesla adapter for their car. And it was going fine. They started building all these things at service stations on the turnpike and whatnot. And then Trump decided he was going to pull the plug on those subsidies, which means Elon, I mean, if it's fucking Betamax versus VHS, I mean, Elon's VHS. He's won the fucking war. He has no competition anymore because they're not going to be subsidized. They can't catch up. They won't have the money, the infrastructure to do it, to make a profit on it.
Yeah, Betamax was better.
And the ironic part is how much money the government has given Musk, right?
Well,
you talked about SpaceX. It was $20.1 billion.
Musk would be worth negative money if he didn't have the U.S. government subsidizing all his bullshit with tax credits and SpaceX and all this other bullshit. Again, we used to do all this shit on our own. We used to have city garbage. We used to have just the mailman, not FedEx, UPS, DHL, and all this other bullshit. We used to just fucking have things run by us. And oh, by the way, it was a great way for blacks and women and people of color and subjugated minorities to get jobs, because the federal government hires at a greater clip than the private sector, those people, because private sectors are racist as fuck, or they have, you know, historically been. And he's taking all that shit away. I don't know if I don't know what the fucking end game here is, but I don't see any black people that they're gonna go pick those fucking tomatoes for fucking Trump. You're fucking on your own. Go get JD Vance's kids to do it, because we ain't fucking doing it. And oh, by the way, we'll do that at a happy ending. I was just gonna bring that up, but that's gonna be my happy ending. It just dawned on me I want to make it my fucking happy ending, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Anyway, I was just happy about some black shit that went on yesterday or over the fucking weekend that made me very happy.
Oh, with the Nazis?
That gives me hope. Yeah, Lincoln, Ohio, where fake big black people came out with the fucking long guns and basically set up their own fucking checkpoints, told the cops to fucking move along. We got this bullshit, and said, ain't no fucking way. This is not 1961, motherfuckers. As Bill Rosen often says, what is it, Bill?
Liberals have guns too, man.
Exactly, motherfuckers. Knock that shit off. You little incels. Go into a bar and try to hit on a girl. And if she says no, just go home and fucking jerk off. But quit coming to fucking my fucking neighborhood with your fucking gun, because I'm going to be standing out there with my fucking gun, motherfucker. It's just that simple. No one's afraid of your little fucking pussy virgin ass. Get the fuck out of that bullshit.
You saw what happened, too. I mean, if you watch the video from the helicopter, those guys ran into their truck as they were fucking pulling away.
Ran into their U-Haul. And what's this with fucking U-Haul renting to these fucking Nazis all the time?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
And let me find out a bunch of fucking Nazis in the back of the U-Haul and have the torque of my car fucking get behind them. I'm going to fucking pull a pit maneuver on their ass and send them fucking flying. I don't give a shit. Someone's going to bail my ass out. Now I can't do it because I just premeditated. Never mind. I'm not going to do that.
That was alleged, though. You allegedly thought about doing it.
For sure.
My version of stochastic terrorism, where I'm wishing it upon them, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck them. Fuck, punch a Nazi. Fuck those motherfuckers.
Punch a Nazi, or at least throw a can of soup at him.
Not one woman with them, by the way. That's fucking noteworthy. You fucking assholes do this with fucking hoods on You're all men between fucking this age and this age. You're all fucking white, wearing cat. Dude, you're followers. You're fucking betas, man.
You're
Get
pathetic.
some fucking balls. You're pathetic. Go to a titty bar. Do something. Jesus.
Go to a titty bar and you know what? Talk to the strippers. You'll learn how to talk to women.
No, go to the titty bar and eat the fucking seafood. All the seafood, all the time. Eat the seafood flat. Eat the fish.
Shrimp. All you can eat it up.
To your point, Gene, when we were turned down in the bars, clubs, or restaurants, you went home. Sure, maybe you jerked off. But the point being, you came back.
You ate a crispy waffle. You never jerked off. You have kids.
The point is
crispy waffles, just crispy. Kendall and Cole, just crispy waffles.
You call that crispy?
The point is, you came back the next night and you tried again. And
your dad's only had sex twice, Kendall and Cole. Twice, just to make you do.
You didn't even wait till the next night. You moved on down.
Exactly. You went to another bar and you tried it again. And if it just wasn't your night, you went home.
You guys know my Leela Rashawn story? Have I ever told you about how I went up to that fucking Hollywood actress that was in Harlem Nights? I got invited to Alfonso Ribeo's fucking party, after party that he wasn't even at because he was at a bar called the Bar Bat, drinking Miller Lite with some white chick sitting on his lap. But he invites me and Keith Sims to another party. And dude, I got all fucked up. And I went up and I saw Leela Rashawn. And dude, she was hot in Harlem Nights. They call her Sunshine because her pussy was so good it was like sunshine or some shit. Anyway, I saw her on the dance floor just fucking kind of dancing. I didn't see her dancing with anybody. And dude, I walked up there fucking dancing, doing the white man's fucking over. This is my brother's favorite story, by the way. Fucking walked up there dancing, fucking like, hey, Leela. She looked right at me, turned and fucking walked away. Just fucking walked away. Did I fucking lose my mind and go out and become a serial killer? No, I laughed and went and hit on somebody else. It was fucking hilarious. Just learn how to fucking take rejection and roll with it, motherfuckers. I got rejected by Sunshine from Harlem Nights. Doesn't get any worse than that.
Well, but you were aiming high.
That's right.
I was. She didn't know who I was.
That's the important thing.
She had no idea I was blocking for Dan Marino. I mean, standing on the sideline watching my friends block for Dan Marino, but getting paid for it. That was a backup. What are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
But, yeah, that's what she looked like. By the way, that's what she looked like at the time. Oh my god,
very attractive.
Oh, dude, yeah.
1992, Leela Rashawn. Oh my god, wow,
great look. No doubt about it. Well, hey, kudos.
She looked at my big chubby ass and she was like, "No fucking way." I mean, I was fresh in the NFL. I didn't have an expensive anything: clothes, watch, jewelry. I mean, I look like a damn dog, just wearing blue jeans and a fucking t-shirt. I think no chance.
No chance.
But you tried.
She married a music producer actually, and had 4 kids with him. So good for her. But yeah, you get rejected. I'm sure Bill's been rejected. Again, Rob only courted one woman, married and had sex twice because he's literally a saint in my book. Anyway, that's how I see Rob. He's like my brother,
Okay.
I just can't see Rob being a dirty dog like Bill. I just don't see it. see it.
Nobody compares to Uncle Dirty Dog. Okay, come on, let's be honest.
Bill was just ruthless, relentless, just like,
I had that weird charm.
Yeah, you had a weird charm, and you're super little, dude. Little dudes, like when I was going to Iowa State, every little dude I competed against at a bar to take a girl home, she always went home with the little dude, 100% of the time. What is it about you that they think you're fucking safe? You motherfuckers are scary as shit in the bedroom. I'm the safe one. Everybody knows. I mean, I have to be gentle. If I fucking toss you around, I'm going to fucking prison. It's fucking Iowa in 1986, for fuck's sake. Trust me. But no, they went with the fucking crazies. The crazy little dudes that weighed 160 pounds.
Women like a bigger man these days.
It's true.
And for the record, I mean, I have a small frame, but I'm pretty jacked. Okay.
In the 80s, dude, it was completely different. It was like the 160. You guys were doing so well in the 80s. I hated you guys for that. I'm surprised I even fucking befriended your motherfucking asses when you knocked on my door when I was smoking Marlboros. Because usually I see a little dude and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You took all my women in the fucking 80s. I hate you people. But,
you're like, it's those 2 chumps from the locker room. What do you want?
Yeah, and I was kind of fucking lonely and bored. And you guys already know I don't hang out with fucking players because they're a giant disappointment 67% of the time.
Agreed.
They're just no fun. They're no fun. Too sad.
Yeah.
They're kind
that wasn't the funnest crew to hang out with, that O-line. Good guys, but yeah, I don't know how fun they were to hang out with.
Yeah, and I had a good time when I was younger hanging out with the O-line from the Browns because we were all unmarried and we were all around the same age. Definitely hung out with those guys. The Miami Dolphins, most of them were married, didn't hang out with them. And then I just got a little older with the Falcons, and we just hung out a different way. So I just didn't want to hang out with it. And way too many religious people on the Falcons. My God, I came to the most religious team in the fucking NFL when I got traded there. Holy shit, there were a lot of holy rollers. Nothing against it, but I was just like kind of shocked. Like, my God, there's a lot of what did they have going on with their little meetings? What was that group called?
Bible study.
Oh, they had Bible study, but they had a Christian athletes or something.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Yeah, they had me meet with that guy one day, and dude, he had his hand out. He's like, "Well, can you pass these out? And you think you can get me this? And what about maybe a sweatshirt?" And
is that the guy that Toback gave his first car to and shit?
I think so. Yeah,
car to him and shit. And Toback was giving him money, I believe. So yeah, he did have his hands out all the time.
I forget the dude's name. I can picture him in my mind, but yeah, it was like the most boring meeting I ever had to sit through. Like, why am I talking to this guy? But that's what you wanted.
As a side note, it was just a very, very religious team.
For sure. It was a little too much. And
why we didn't win.
Could have focused a little bit more on football and less on Jesus.
I think so. It's a business.
Mainly because Jesus doesn't care who wins. So there you go.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, I was excited. Speaking of sports, I'm happy the Eagles won.
Me too.
I am too, man. That was just a very impressive physical display, dude. They just manhandled them, and
they're not even favored for the next Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs and the Bills are. And
mistake.
The Chiefs, dude. The Chiefs are used up.
That was my happy ending, so I'm sticking to it. I really enjoyed not having the stress of the Super Bowl. I wanted the Birds to win. They basically, from start to finish, looked really good. I think Mahomes got cussed on that second series when he banged his head.
Dude, they zapped his head off the ground.
And he just wasn't the same. And I find that kind of telling because, they do have concussion spotters in the stadium, at least half a dozen of them. If I saw it live when it happened, and then I had a friend texting me who doesn't watch football at all saying, "Hey, I think that guy got concussed. Look at him." Some of those passes inside his own 10, he threw it right to the fucking guy. I mean, something wasn't right. Does that mean you bring in Carson Wentz? Probably not. But
yeah,
I mean, safety, you want to see him under Carter getting a headshot, and when you're already concussed, that's serious brain damage.
Oh yeah, dude, he took several really hard shots.
6 sacks.
6, the most he's ever taken in his career.
Yeah,
but a couple of those, he got rocked, and he was running for his life. He's like Brady, man. The Super Bowls that Brady lost, he got knocked around. Those guys.
Everybody instantly lost their mind in the first fucking long play when he got the push-off call, the offensive pass interference. Everybody
that was
lost
such a bad
their
call
mind in the whole entire country.
That was terrible.
And then
I'm like, oh, here we go.
Melissa, I was like, I'm just gonna listen now. I can't even believe that was fucking called. I was like,
that was ridiculous. And I'm thinking, here we go. They're just going to award him the ring right now.
But it turned
out
call. They did a decent enough job. So,
but
you got a happy ending, Bill?
I was going to say, the Eagles. I'm a Steeler fan, and hopefully, the quarterback situation. They don't have the elite level quarterback, but the Eagles have shown if you have a competent quarterback and a good O-line and a good D-line, a really good D-line, you can win. You can still win because none of those other those Josh Allen didn't make it. Joe Burrow didn't make it. And I don't think Hurts gets the respect he's due, man. That dude should have been the MVP. He's a good quarterback.
Is he still under his first contract or whatever or whatnot? Or does he have a new contract?
No, I don't think he is, right?
They signed him to a big deal.
Yeah.
He didn't ask for too much. I thought it was pretty interesting too, because his whole management team are 5 different women. Now that's a guy ahead of the curve. He didn't say shit all week. They asked him about the president being at the game. He was pretty honest and non-offensive in his response, other than he really didn't care. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But he was all business all game. His demeanor didn't change a bit. And that's that's the telltale of a champ, man. I mean, he brought it. There was going to be no doubt about it. And I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought so too. And that's a high pressure game. I mean, we've seen guys melt down the night before the game. Barrett Robinson.
Oh my God, yeah.
Heading on down to TJ. Who was that dude for the Bengals? Stanley Wilson.
Cocaine.
Yeah,
a lot of cocaine before the game, and that hurt because Jennings had to do the returning.
Yeah,
as well. So
yeah, that screwed him. Eugene Robinson.
Bad.
Dude's it's a lot of pressure, man. They short circuit.
For sure. But you wouldn't think a man of such faith would have had that issue, and then going out and demanding a lower price for a blowjob seems really not to make much sense.
Oh, fuck, dude. And how many of those dudes of faith would just throw their shit on the floor and walk away when there's a trash can right there, cut their tape off and just leave it there?
I thought the funniest part was on that floor of the Miami hotel, you get off the elevator, security was right there, just some guy. And the smoke in the air was just like, I mean, Eugene, why are you leaving? Anything you want, it's right here. You're in your safety of your own hotel.
One phone call away, or maybe even a trip down to the lobby.
Eugene Robinson's wife.
Come on, brah. She was very attractive.
I haven't seen her and since the day of the Super Bowl is a supermodel hot.
Yeah, she was beautiful.
And she was there when we were there. So that whole thing was fucked. And I don't hold a grudge against Eugene Robinson, but fucking little things like that and fucking bad coaching and I worked my ass off that fucking year. To have it pissed away on a fucking bomb by fucking Elway because this dude didn't get any fucking sleep. And Dan Reeves deciding he's, coherent enough, which he wasn't, to fucking coach a football team in the biggest game of the fucking year and make it all about him and fucking Shanahan for Shanahan taking his job. Hold no grudges to it, but facts are facts. Those fucking things happen and they affected us. It sucks. But kudos to fucking Elway winning on that fucking, his last fucking game. That's how you want to fucking go out. 100%.
Hey, Eugene, rough night last night?
You have no fucking idea. Yeah, exactly.
Man, yeah, but the whole game plan was terrible. I mean, you had a stud running back who led the league. You had a really good offensive line. You had a really good deep threat, and Tony Martin just call a smart game.
And we didn't fucking re-sign him over pennies. We didn't re-sign our deep threat over pennies, and we signed Callaway, who had a bum knee. Great guy, had a fucking Rose. You could have fucking outrun him that year. He had a severe gait, a severe limp. It's like, dude, and he's recycling New York Giants guys, which I had no problem with. I got along with all of them, but he's recycling these fucking guys. He tried to recycle a guy to replace me from the Giants. Paid him twice as much as I fucking made, and I'm the fucking starter, and he made him inactive the whole fucking year.
I remember that fucking guy.
Shit up. He made twice as much money as me that fucking year. And I don't fucking care about anybody else's fucking money, but this is the dumb shit Dan Reeves did. And you fucking wonder why he fucking lost that fucking Super Bowl. That was
dude.
So, whatever.
Dude, I got a story about Chris Callaway that
Go ahead.
Rob knows this story.
You just scared the shit out of Rob, though.
So
look, but go ahead.
Homeboy was back where my office was. He was doing something back there, and he found like a $50 bill on the floor. And Callaway comes walking through a few minutes later, and homeboy's not a student. He's like, "Hey man, did you drop this?" Because players go through there all the time. And he said, "Oh yeah, man, that's mine. Thanks." 10 minutes later, Shoes comes walking through and he's like, "Hey, good doctor, you haven't seen a $50 bill on the floor around here, have you?"
I mean, and dude, a smart man, I'm not saying Callaway's not a smart man, would know that someone's going to come back looking for that 50 and everyone's going to know he claimed that fucking 50. That's the fucking stupid shit. He probably made fucking $2.5 million that year. He probably didn't. But, hey, oh my gosh. Is that him?
That's Shoes.
Oh, is that Shoes? Oh, God, I couldn't tell with the hat on. That's fucking crazy. There he
is. That's the man right there. Great dude.
Anyway.
Great dude.
Well, I told you my happy ending. It was Lincoln fucking Heights, Ohio. I'm just happy to see if our fucking government officials aren't going to set up checkpoints and fucking make sure people aren't fucking with them. At least our people are. So, that's my... Can't hear you, Rob. Huge.
I said we'll take it. Small victories. I'm all about it.
And remember, find your flock, make noise, and shit on fascists. My buddy, who's an artist now, he was a special ed teacher for years.
I like it.
Sent me a couple fucking stickers. This one says, "Don't be a prick." That was for you, Bill. Don't be a prick. But again, shit on fascists. Find your flock. You guys are my flock. We're gonna make some fucking noise, and we're gonna shit on fascists because I ain't going out like this.
And I think a lot of people would agree with that statement. We talked about this before, the shock and awe and the contradictions that they're trying to confuse us. Again, just as a reminder for people out there, how to protect yourself, put a time limit on your doom scrolling. It's not something you need to do all day. It is a problem. Check your sources. Oftentimes they're right there under what you're trying to retweet. Somebody will chime in and be like, hey, this is total bullshit, or don't believe the shit. Lastly, to Gene's point, stay connected. Don't isolate yourself. We're all in this together, man. None of us are billionaires with a B. So if you're not in that club, join our club.
And
change.
And my last point will be, if shit ends up going downhill and we end up in a civil war, we're going to need a shitload of meth. Because I saw a story today on the first dude that ever fucking OD'd on meth, some fucking Finnish soldier named Emo Koivarian or some shit.
Oh, is that the dude that marched like 100 miles through the snow?
Dude, better than that. Fucking, he skied 250 miles.
Yeah, that's the dude.
Over the course of several days. He got fucking stranded by himself. No food, no water, just his skis and his fucking overcoat and a fucking big bag of meth meant for 30 soldiers. He'd never taken meth in his fucking life.
Pervitin.
Fucking took it. He took them all. Enough for 30 men. Stayed up for a week straight, skied 250 fucking miles. When they finally found him, he weighed like 95 pounds. And when they got him to the hospital, his fucking heart rate was like 200 beats per minute. But that motherfucker lived. And at the ripe old age of 71, the meth had something to do with it. But so we're going to need a shitload of meth if the Civil War starts. That's all I'm saying. We're going to need fucking meth. Because that's going to make us good fighters. I'm just telling you, man.
The flip side,
dude.
Bill, you're in charge of the meth.
The Nazi blitzkrieg was fueled by a drug called Pervitin, which was meth. Methamphetamine.
And also all the guys they put in that fucking submarine that was a one-man submarine they set off. And just to calm them, they put them on all these drugs, never to be seen again.
Never to be seen again. It was like a one-man submarine that had never been tested. They got this guy he was all hopped up on everything. He was on Pervitin, which was available to the public up until a certain point in the war. Hitler was a fucking meth head. Hitler was getting juiced up every day by his doctor.
Yeah. Well, you can
think our special forces don't get a little juicy before they go do something crazy. They have all sorts of fucking tricks of the trade. But whatever they are, we're going to need them if the shit hits the fan, because I think people are going to fight back. We're not just going to fucking give up our democracy.
There's no doubt.
We can't.
There's no doubt.
There's no going. We can't back down. But, get involved. Find your circle, pay attention, go to protests, speak out, call your representatives.
My producer / wife, Melissa, just reminded me there's an economic blackout February 28th where you're not supposed to buy shit unless you needed like some toilet paper or you were shopping locally or something. But other than that,
February 28th.
Yeah, Google economic blackout. It's February 28th. We're going to start slow. And if we have to fucking amp it up, apparently we're going to amp it up. But I'm certainly not going to buy it February 28th.
And March 15th is a protest rally as well. But we'll talk more about these things moving forward. The 28th, I love that idea. Hit them where it hurts, and they may notice. All right, guys.
We'll see you Thursday.
We'll see you on Thursday. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye. Good job.